Hola amigos, and welcome back to another episode of La Vida Verde podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Human, here at Finca Vida Verde, and this episode is very special. My guest today is Gina Morales. Gina is a singer, a songcatcher, a composer of medicine music, a circle facilitator, a teacher of movement, a reader of runes, a mother of three, and one of our original Taco Tall residents. She performed with me for some years in the early days here of my time here in Costa Rica. It's going to be a great conversation, and we're going to have some music, and maybe we'll even get her to read us a rune. So stick around. We hope you enjoy. Gina Morales, welcome back to Finca Vida Verde, and welcome to La Vida Verde podcast.
Thank you, Human. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes, and we've been trying to, this has been in the works. It's been something I've been so excited about. Gina, you were like my original, you were my original guide to Costa Rica, really. You were, because I remember early days, first days even here, I remember Chris originally picked me up from the airport, but then you brought me to San Jose. We went on the bus together. We went I remember going into San Jose and seeing all these young hippies playing drums, and you and Chris had this Soniclao. Soniclaje. It was like a kind of like a trash band, where they used garbage cans, and man, you guys were crazy hippies back then.
Well, we love to do music and share it with the world.
Yeah. And were you doing I remember West African drumming, but were you guys drumming, or were you dancing, or what?
Both.
You were doing both.
At that time, I was doing both singing, dancing, and learning how to play the three kind of principal drums.
Like the dun-duns.
Dun-duns, sagban, and kenkeni.
Right. Wow. Yeah, we need more of that in here. I want more of that in the community.
Sí.
And you are Costa Rican. You're Tica. You grew up in San Jose?
I grew up in San Jose.
Uh-huh. And I remember, so your father is from the Caribbean. And
See, the family from my father's side is from the Caribbean coast. And from them, I got a lot of the influence of the music that I share. Because my grandfather, he was a Calypsonian of the area of Limon.
What's his name?
Ramon Morales.
Ramon Morales. That's your brother's
my
name.
brother.
Yeah.
He got the name in honor to my grandfather.
Ah.
But he was a recognized Calypsonian in that moment.
Calypsonian is a calypso musician, and calypso is the traditional music of the Caribbean, Costa Rica. That's so cool. I never knew that. I love these podcasts. I learned so much about people. So your brother's jammed with us. He plays the banjo, which is another traditional.
He have been maintaining the culture alive, and he get involved with the Association of Cultural Music of Calypso and that in Cahuita. He's known in the area because he have been also helping the musicians to improve and to get known. And
that's so cool. Awesome. So how did you grew up singing, or?
Well, when I grew up, my influencer of music was my grandfather from my mom's side, because he used to work every night in a spot in his office, and he was a collectionist of music. You know, the long plays? He have walls of long plays and this kind of
LPs,
records. And he had a walls of LP records. And every night when he was working, making the accountant of his business, he would put music, and I was very little. And I remember myself dancing down the desk, ¿verdad? That was huge for me, with all the music that he used to play all the time.
Wow.
So for me, he was the big influencer of all the kind of music.
What kind of music?
Everything. Country music, the Beatles, music in Spanish, music from Mexico. He will collect everything.
Cool. From the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he was this kind of geek, ¿verdad? Because he had it all in a notebook, and he had the kind of music and everything selected, very, ¿verdad?
Organized.
Very organized.
Wow, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. So you're both sides of your family music.
Both sides.
And okay. And Okay, and you grew up in San Jose, and you got like, how did you come to this area? Like,
Well, since I remember when I was like a teenager, I always wanted to get out of San Jose. Like I wanted to go to the beach or wherever because, verdad, my heart was calling me away of the city. And when I met Chris, that he is the father of my two big kids, verdad, he was starting this project in Tacotan. So we started to come a lot to check the land and to, verdad, start to be more and more here. And when I got pregnant of my first kid, Ilan, you know him, he's 12 right now, almost 13. We were like, it's time to move. Like, what better can we offer to a kid than a clean river and clean air and this contact so pure with nature? So there is when I came.
so you moved here after Elan was born.
Before I spent my pregnancy here with Rosita and Gustavo because she was pregnant of Inti as well. So we were like a couple of families starting like the seed, verdad, the seed of Tacotal with the seed in our bellies as well.
Right. Wow. It was really, that is, yeah, we've had Gustavo on the podcast and Bradley and talked about the early days of Taco Tal, but like you guys really, you can't understate how much different it was. Like there was no people around. There was no like, we were in the jungle.
It was really pure, the contact with nature.
Yeah.
Like I remember nights of being like, let's go to see the moon, and there was nothing but the pure nature and the sounds of the mountain.
And on Saturdays, Jesus singing. It's
over on the other side of the
La
river.
Libertad.
So you
I will
get the
never
context of
forget that. Because it's so blatant. And then back then, it was like there was nothing else. So when you heard something else, it was like, where's that coming from?
Exactly.
It's a civilization out there. Oh, that's so cool. And so we should mention, like, yes, you were when we started, you were married to Christian Carranza, who was one of our founders of Taco Tal. He is the ginger beer, known locally as the ginger beer man.
Yeah.
You've both separated and moved on. You both have other partners now.
Yeah.
But you and Chris had Niti and Ilan. Ilan first and then Niti.
See, and the seed is still here because my kids always come to Tacotal all the time to stay with their father. And Ilan, actually, he's living here right now.
Right.
So I'm glad, ¿verdad? It's like we have a very good relationship, and also the seed that we planted here is growing here in the mountain and living this life.
Yeah,
nature.
Christian doesn't really get it. You and both of you really, because he was with you guys were together in that. But like the origin, like he doesn't really get much credit for the beginnings of this area. But Christian was really crucial to the whole, So I give him a lot of credit for that. Thank you, Christian. And you lived here at one point at Finca Vida Verde.
See?
Yeah, you just reminded me of that. I'm always amazed, like, how many people, like, yeah, remember when I lived at your house? I'm like, no, because for the first, 10 years, I was coming and going so much, so people would be here in the rainy season while I was working in the U.S., and so, yeah.
See, we were building our house, and in the meantime, we were staying at your spot, taking care of it, and it was wonderful because Ilan was 1 year, and it was perfect for him to stay in a verdad, a control area, let's say.
Yeah, right, because there was not much on the land at that point. It was Gretchen and Jonah's and my place at that time. Well, I'm happy that we could. I'm happy that you're part of the story of Finca Vida. I mean, you always. And so yes, Gina and I played a lot of music together. I remember. I remember the first Envision. You and me and Rosa and Christian and Gustavo playing the drums
with our babies, because it came into the stage, ¿verdad? Like I have a long history of babies in the stage, or babies in the ¿cómo se dice? The estuches of the instruments, the cases of the instruments.
The instrument, yeah, the cases.
Or babies hanging, or babies like dancing. Now they are big, but I'm refreshing the story because I have one of 2 years and a half.
Right.
That is playing the same story.
And it was just with your new partner, Mao.
Mauricio.
And you have a 2 years old baby now.
Yeah.
Their name is?
Kenna.
Right.
Little Kenna.
Yeah. And so like I remember that first Envision. I remember it was like we had the worst. I think we had one of the worst slots. It was Sunday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And at that time, like the sun, it was right on the beach. It was right at
In Dominical.
it was in Dominical at the what's the name of, where was the place? What's the name? It's, everyone knows it. It's like the dance. It's known as the dance. Anyways, I'll have to remember it. But Sophia and Brendan's place. Some of you will know what that means. Some of you will not. But it was right there, right on the beach, right in town. And 1 o'clock, the sun was like right over, like right directly glaring. I think I almost passed out during that.
I see, it was really hot.
It was so hot.
Very different from what you can see now in a vision. Like,
yeah.
But the seed, ¿verdad? The seeds are always smaller and with more challenges.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But it was always fun.
Oh, yeah. No, those early days those were amazing. And you played with us a couple of times, I remember. Did you come back and do... Yeah, we remember we did the one like a couple years later with Sharon and Adele. You guys were doing out West African dance and...
See, it was like a couple of times.
Yeah? Yeah, we did that.
And the night stage with a lot of lights and very fancy.
Yes. Well, they've gotten insanely more fancy. In fact, we just released an episode of, or not an episode, a video of our band playing this last year on the Soul stage, which you can see the difference of like, it's like being on, it's like being at Rock on Rio. It's like, it's insane. The production, but yeah. Okay. So Envision. Also,
I want to get to the memory of the first time that we played here in San Mateo. Please, let's talk about.
Remind me even.
It was like a party in San Mateo, and they have this boxing ring, remember?
Yes, I do remember this.
So we came with all the hippies of Tacotal to play in the town that was just getting used to see the different kind of people we were, ¿verdad? And it was a show with all his clothing of a hippie.
It was ayahuasca. He was wearing his like Shipibo gear. And like at this town of San Mateo, yeah, you're right, had never seen anything. I remember you said this, I got scared for a minute because I had built my house and I didn't have permits. And I remember you saying to me like, and I don't know, I didn't know like the legalities of this country or anything. I just remember you saying something like, "Human, the municipality asked me about you." And I was like...
Because I was working in the municipality at the moment.
Right. What were you doing?
I was leading the program of good management of disposables, like the trash.
Oh, recycling and trash.
Recycling.
Yeah. Oh.
So they were developing this, and I was like the person in charge of developing the program.
Wow. I never knew that. That's so cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And yeah, no, but I remember you asking me about like, they want to get in touch with you. And I was just like, oh no, what was it? And you were like, and then you're like, well, they heard there was a country musician from the United States living here. And I was like, oh, okay. Like they just want to talk about music. I was like, oh, thank God. So yeah.
The municipality was like, part of the municipality were always like, you should receive like a, no sé, like a, ¿cómo se dice? Un premio?
A prize.
A prize. You should receive like a prize because what we are doing, the people that is still here and what we started was like very inspirational for the people. The way we are building here and the way everything is like touched with so conscience about nature around.
Yeah, this town has always really embraced us. And I remember I think, were you there when we went to the municipality and we like to talk about GMO?
Fabian Pacheco, he came to...
He did. I don't remember that. The GMO...
He came to support because they were doing this around the country, and he asked us to come and play some music the day that there was going to be a municipality session there.
Right.
Always the music around.
Yes.
We were called by the music to go and play music at the park, go and play music in the boxing ring, go and play music at the... Now you are doing that.
Yeah, with the Casa de Urna. Yeah. But I remember we were like the boxing ring. Yeah, there was like, it was this day of like karate and like there was all these expositions, cheerleaders and karate and then like 4 or 5 rounds of boxing. But I remember all night they're like, and next, country music. Wait, I don't even remember they said my name, like, con human or something like that. And they kept going, country music. I was like, that's so funny. Because at that time, especially, I don't know that I identified as a country musician. Yeah. But, you know, definitely more country than not. But anyways, so we did the boxing ring. Yeah, we're like performing and there's like blood. There's like blood all over the ring. And, like you and me and Chris and Jesus' son. Yeah,
that's true.
that was a fun show. Anyways, I love it. And then we did the Fiesta de Marañón with Ramon. Ramon played with us, your brother. We did the Paraíso Libre de Transgénicos.
This is beautiful.
That was like a festival in Paraíso, Cartago. That was like GMO-free Cartago. Like
first places
that
made like the decree up there were like free of transgenic.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
We have a lot of memories. That's true. We have a lot of memories around the music. And also one thing that I want to say now that I'm here, that is like every time I think about Tacotal, what came first is the music. The kitchen, ¿verdad? The kitchen was a place where we were always doing music, and the people came from San Jose, the people came to visit, people came to just, ¿verdad? Play. And I think that is one of the links, I don't know, one of the things that have always keep us together, or whatever it keeps together a community is mainly the music as well.
It's true.
Because we are still, even though I'm not living here, we keep talking about music and planning like, hey, let's play together. When are we going to do something together? So how wonderful, ¿verdad?
It's
the way the music does into the weaving of people.
Yeah, and now in Tacotal we've got, we got like Surreal, and we've got Luti here, and we've got Maria Cardona.
Oh,
like, I mean, it's just like a nonstop constant, and you wouldn't believe the jams we have here. Like you gotta come to one of the jams sometime. Yes,
hopefully.
Okay, so, and you kind of have, I remember you being like a Songcatcher. I was explaining what songcatching is like. Someone who hears a song and is like, keeps it going through performing it. And I've always appreciated that about you. Like some of the songs, like, not only did you learn all my songs, you and Rosa were like, knew all of my songs. I remember many times singing 3-part harmonies with the three of you, which I loved. But also like, just all the different cultural songs I learned from you. So that's, and are you writing your own music now though?
See, well, that is something also that this place is always like make me remember the way I started to receive songs, because it's something like I told you, like you taught me that a little bit about how a song, when it comes, it's kind of like a visit. And you receive the visit and you feel it. But sometimes for me, when they come, it's like I feel something in my nose, and suddenly I start hearing something. It's like, oh my God, it's a song coming. It's so excited.
You feel it in your nose? Mm-hmm. You have a physical experience of feeling a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Kind of I wish I had that.
But they come many ways, many different ways. Sometimes they come, like there is a song that I would love to share maybe after, that it come at night. I was sleeping and the song came like, oh my God, I'm listening to something. And because you told me, I start to record when the melody was coming, ¿verdad? Or the lyrics were coming. I always like record them because they are like a visitor. They come and then they go. And if you don't catch them in the moment, they will go.
Yeah, it's so much like that. Like, I mean, there's various ways of writing songs, and that's the one, to me, that's the real. What you're just, there's people like, if you talk to professional songwriters, so many of them it's so much like about the craft. It's like, that's what came through, but then how can we make it sound more appealing to audiences, or how can we make it more relatable? It's like, that overthinks so much. It's like the best music that I've written has always come from that place. It's like it takes you over.
Yeah, it touches strings of your heart. That's what I feel. And sometimes when they come, it's like I can't really say that the songs are mine, because I think they pass through me.
Totally.
And they pass through me because they have to be sung. And so it's so interesting, ¿verdad? Like sometimes a song came and it's like a medicine for me, and I sing it and I cry and I cry. I'm like, oh my God, it is moving something very deep inside of me. And then when I stop crying, when I stop, like when I can sing the song without feeling the movement of my emotions, I can sing it to others, and the song make its way. And sometimes people is like, can I sing it? Like, yes, you can sing it, of course, because it came to be sing. Because of the message, what it does, and the movements, and on the emotional body. And that is why I think that the music that I make is some sort of medicine music, but it still is first a medicine for my life.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so true, and it does touch other people. Like this has been my experience. Is like so many times, like somebody will come up to me back in the day when I was performing, you'd get somebody who was like, their whole life was like moved in that moment. Like, and you don't even know what it's going to be or what song or whatever. But like, yes, of course, it's healing us first. But after a while, if you start doing it professionally, you're like, how many times have I sung Breathe? I love it every time. It reminds me to breathe. But at this point, it's like part of me. That song is part of me. But for other people, it sometimes has this totally like, wow. Like,
I always want you to sing it.
I know you always. I know, and I'm always amazed. I'm always amazed when people ask me this, because I'm like, haven't you heard that enough? Like, but no, it's true. It's like some things.
See, in Spanish, this word of remember is recordar, and it comes a lot. Well, like here, I wanna mention my friend Rosita, that it is gonna be soon in one of these podcasts.
One day
soon. Birthday today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Rosita. And she teaches me so many things, and one of them is recordar. The word recordar is when you pass through your heart again. And sometimes the songs have information that pass through your heart and make you like feel things that have to be aligned, and your music do that. And that is why, like, sometimes I'm like, please sing it again, sing it again.
Oh.
Also, what you're saying about the Songcatcher, well, it's always songs that do some kind of movement in my life. It may come from other people, but I know that what they are gonna transmit through me, it's gonna move because it is moving me. So my relationship with music is this kind of intimate relationship of what is moving my strings, the strings of my heart. It comes all from here. There is nothing here when I'm singing. It's always fewer presence in the heart.
Ah, Gina, such a good reminder, and like just such a beautiful, pure. Feels very pure. Yeah, thank you. And you just did something. So you're doing circle facilitation now too, right? Like leading circles. I know you just did something with Rosa, like last weekend.
With Rosa, I started the contention or the orchestra of circles of women's first. And from there, I keep doing circles because it's something that the people really needs to feel in confidence to talk. But mostly I am directing all my initiatives to the singing and the chanting. And I'm moving myself through circles of medicine music, where I invite people to come, get into that beautiful state of meditation with a little bit of time, like to get into the presence and then sing. But when you sing, this song is different than when you sing any other kind of music, because you are singing and you are connecting with coherency, your thoughts and your words and your feeling, and you breathe that music that you are singing to yourself. And it's like, oh my God, I'm making this, how do you say, the sound bath to my energy.
To yourself.
With my instrument.
You're bathing yourself with your own instrument.
And I can do it, and it feels so great. And it's like touching. You can touch the wealth that you feel in your body when you sing to yourself with coherency with what you're singing. So this is my purpose in life, expand this, because I feel it in my whole body when I do it, and I know that people receive it that way as well.
So this is more, where is this kind of like you're moving forward, where you want to put more energy then?
Exactly. Like this year, I started a program that is a program of 5 weeks where I work one-on-one to go and touch the music that comes from your heart. So let's say you have a process of whatever, you are starting a new project or starting a new land, or you are just moving into sing more. And we work into that process with the medicine wheel of the red road that comes with the element and all the directions. And we move in a spiral to the center of your heart to evolve that process with music.
Right, and the red road, that's what they call the Camino Rojo aquí, like the Native American way. It's like the I forget. I'm trying to think of the medicine wheel of the Native American, the north, south, east, west, inside, outside.
Yeah, I got the seed of this information because, well, I am a moon dancer. I have been doing the moon dance for almost like 6 years. This next year.
Will you explain a little bit about the moon dance for people who don't know?
It's a beautiful ceremony. It comes from the Mexican tradition. And it was remembered like maybe on the 70s because it was an old tradition that was kind of forgotten. And the women's that were doing the sun dance, that is some sort of the ceremony, but for the sun during the day, they started this ceremony at night because they received the information to keep the memory going for the women to remember her essence. And it's a ceremony that you do at night. You dance to the moon and sing all night long, and you dance with a purpose, ¿verdad? That is evolving. And so from all these years, there is a lot of details about it that there's, ¿verdad?
You can look it up. Yeah.
But the music is so related with the process of the evolution of the self. Why? Because it opens the door of the heart. And that is so true. That is something that you can prove. It's nothing that it's nothing so elevated. No, when you connect with your heart and sing, things happen. And that is what I want to share.
So there's a lot of singing at the moon dance.
All night. And there is a big drum, ¿verdad? And around this big drum, there is a group of about 10 women maybe, and we are singing, ¿verdad? Keeping the beat for the rest of the girls to be dancing around that beat and the song that you are, ¿verdad? Singing. So I have been in the drum of the dance circle for maybe 3 years, and when you are there, you really have to cultivate the presence. Because whatever is passing through you is going to pass through the others. And there is where I learn a lot of what I'm sharing right now. You are an instrument, but it's not just your voice. It's also your energy field. It's also what you put in your mind and when you speak about what you're saying.
Amazing.
So, well, this program that I'm sharing is going through, but invite people to experience that. How you can become an instrument of your life.
Okay.
Making this coherence in between what you are singing and what you're thinking and what you're putting out to life through your process, and it's all linked.
Amazing.
It's so beautiful.
So people can get a hold of you if they want sessions. You're taking on clients.
Lovely. Yes. It's more than happy. It's one of the things that
beautiful gift for people. Yeah.
And one of the pluses is that if the people want to, they can explore how to compose their own songs. The way that I'm doing it, ¿verdad? As well, is not that the regular composer thing that you can find in a college or in a class or in whatever. It's something more vinculated with what are you feeling and how to put that in words and in a melody outside for yourself first.
Okay, so people,
it's beautiful.
Get in touch with this woman.
Yes.
And before the music, there's another thing that I remember the last time I saw you. We were in San Pedro, or what do they call that area, Guadalupe, or wherever you
San Pedro.
And I remember you reading me my first rune.
I see.
And I've never had that done before. And I remember you were really into it. And you brought some with you today too, right? So can we do a rune reading and do you have to have an intention or?
A little bit about them. The runes are energies that comes from the beginnings of the time. Now, the history, the way they present them is that they come from the Scandinavian old traditions, from the Vikings, let's say. The Nordic. They were an alphabet. So what they are like a system of communication. And they are a system of communication with your higher self. So we are not consulting anything outside yourself. It's your voice through them. And what the way they do it, ¿verdad, is that they are really direct. They are not like on the sides, and they are not telling you stories about how. No, they are coming with an energy that makes you have clearance about life or about a decision. They will not tell you the future, but they will tell you how is your energy regarding that decision, that question, that.
So it's your higher self. It's a way for your higher self to speak to.
And let's say we can ask right now, what will be the information that we have to have for this podcast or for this land or ¿verdad? Something for you, maybe that are watching this podcast right now, like a little present for you that we're watching could be.
How about, okay.
Well, how do you feel?
I think we should, so maybe something more universal, like just a call, what the world needs to hear right now. The world, is that too not specific?
No, it's perfect.
Like the world, like, because there's so much conflict going on right now, and there's so much this and that, and just like, what can we, what's a good lesson for us all?
That's a very beautiful question. And so we will connect them with the heart of the planet Earth. So the planet Earth will be in touch with us to give us this message. What does she need? ¿Verdad? What does the world need to hear? And so we breathe and get into the state of presence and ask for the message of the ones. Nice. Oh my God, this is very interesting. So they are all, I don't know if you can see, is it possible? This is like a little E, an I, ¿verdad? This is like a line. So what the world need will be traduced like, we need to have time to integrate the process that we're living without losing the faith of the green that is coming, like, because this is the rule. This is called ISA, and it's talking about when is everything like congelado, frozen.
Yeah.
But this is like a creek in the frozen superficie.
The earth, like the crust.
This is like a creek crack. Bueno.
It's an underground.
So you can see inside, and you will see like the green grass that is growing, coming from the earth. So what she invites us is to go inside, even though these times can be challenging, and know that in the inside of ourselves, all these processes are going to allow us to have green coming out. And it's going to be a greener of seeds and plants that will have more knowledge, because we are going to let us have the time to integrate in ourselves what is passing in this moment. Not to move fast, not to have like rapid decisions of things and go to the battle and do things. No, breathe, receive the message, and nurture your inner earth for the seeds to come with the energy of the integration of your own processes. Isa, that is the name of this one.
Thank you. Okay. That sounds positive and beautiful and hopeful. Gina, thank you so much. Let's you want to talk about you're going to sing us a song? We're going to do a couple songs maybe. Yeah. Will you sing us tell us just a quick like little bit about this song that you want to do?
Bueno, I would love to do a song that just came, and regarding all the movements of the times right now, it came like a medicine for me before the eclipse, the solar eclipse of October, and the moon eclipse. That was like the movement of the word energy was kind of crazy, and this song came like to nurture the confidence in myself, to keep my little fire on, but not like a big fire. No, a little fire on, always flame. With love. This flame. So it's a very happy and hopefully song.
Hopeful. I love that. I'm excited. So we're going to play some music. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. And I hope if people want to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can get in touch with me by my Instagram. That is Gina Kalaluz.
With K?
Will be Gina with Gina Kalaluz. Yes, Zita.
Kalaluz.
Kalaluz.
Yeah. Okay.
There you can find music, and you can find all the things that I'm putting out to the world, and more than happy to get in touch.
Oh, that's so lovely. Yeah, it's been so great having you here, Gina. I'm going to sign off, and then we're going to get set up and do the music.
That is one of the best things that we do together, is always play music.
It's always the music.
I remember all the lines of the chorus that I have learned from you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well,
it's here. It's here.
So thank you, Gina Morales. Thank you all for being here. This is La Vida Verde podcast. We release episodes every Tuesday. We are on YouTube at La Vida Verde podcast. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We are on Instagram at Finca Vida Verde CR, on Facebook, And please, 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 if you love this, support our Patreon, patreon.com/La Vida Verde podcast. We're going to have some music with Gina, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you next time. Pura vida.
Canto a la confianza. Yo manifiesto mi vida desde la paz y la confianza. Yo manifiesto mi vida desde la paz y la confianza. Vivo el momento presente que ya ves, nada me falta. Vivo el momento presente que ya ves, nada me falta. Fuego, 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 fuego en mi interior. Siento un fuego, 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 fuego en mi interior. Fuego, 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 fuego en mi interior.